Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Going to talk about a few social issues this morning. We'll start with your governments. Um, we live in a supposed democracy. I don't really see it as a democracy, to be completely honest with you. I see democracy as a false narrative. A democracy means that everybody has equal rights and freedoms, and we're informed about everything that they do, etc. But we're not. The next big thing that they're going to be doing, and actually they're actually doing it now, through these false flag terrorist attacks, which I mentioned yesterday, are not terrorist attacks. They are attacks which are initiated, rehearsed, and implemented on our streets to make it look like it's a terrorist attack, but actually it's not. It's actors, actresses, and police being involved in these attacks. The reason they're doing this is quite simple, really. There will be a lot more of these attacks. I can absolutely assure you of this. There'll be many more. And the reason that they do this is basically to initiate an armed presence, a permanently armed presence on our streets, so that when we walk through our cities and streets, we'll see an armed presence everywhere, and we'll just accept that as a reasonable security precaution for all of our safety. It has nothing to do with this. They're really not interested in our safety because false flag terrorist attacks obviously kill people. They're killing their own people. So why would they care about us, with these armed personnel on our streets? It is a way basically of controlling society. So that if something does happen, they have an armed presence on the streets to deal with it immediately. For example, we've got FEMA camps. Specifically in the United States, there are many of them. They have been fully built. All the facilities are there, ready, waiting for whenever they decide to initiate whatever they've got planned, New World Order, etc. Quite interesting to note is that the very, very large, high barbed wire fences that are facing inwards. In other words, they're facing inwards, so they prevent people from getting out, not prevent people from getting in. It's a security measure to keep those people in these camps indefinitely. There are literally hundreds of thousands of plastic coffins that have been produced. They're stockpiled in warehouses in the United States and in Europe as well. It is a worldwide thing. It's not just in the United States. These FEMA camps have been designed for one specific reason: to hold the public in these camps. These geoengineering programs are set out in one particular way. They're not there to help regulate the climate, to expel CO2 from our atmosphere, and to make the Earth a healthier place for us to live. They are simply there as a way of killing lots of people in a silent way, so nobody is responsible. Also, these geoengineering programs have absolutely no political oversight because of their classified nature. A lot of them are not even spoken about at all. It's a national security issue, so the public aren't made aware of it. These programs are paid by your taxes. So basically you are paid to be paying these people and your governments with your taxes to be poisoned on a daily basis. You're paying for your babies and your children to be poisoned. Pregnant women, for example, they're breathing in these horrible poisons every single day. That is obviously going to affect growth of the baby and will cause autism even before that baby's born. Of course it affects the baby's brain. The bloodstream is being fed from the woman into the fetus, into the baby, and into the baby's brain. So the baby is at an immediate disadvantage and given no choice but to have a pretty shitty life as soon as it's born. And it's pretty horrible. The world has gone absolutely crazy. For example, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars in the world. There is absolutely no reason for any poverty. There's no reason for anybody to have a lack of food, for anybody to have a lack of water, a lack of housing. There is absolutely no need for anybody to be homeless because there is plenty of land, plenty of housing for everybody. They don't want that, obviously. There is enough money in the world to put $1 billion in every single individual's bank account worldwide. But obviously There are only certain people that are in charge of the central banks and the financial situation in the world. These small group of people run the world. The Rothschilds, etc. Yes. These people do not want you to have a reasonable, happy life. So basically, you have to get up in the morning, go to work from 9 till 5, to earn just enough money to pay for the things that you need in your daily lives, to pay the rent, to pay your mortgage, to pay the schooling and the college for your children, to buy the food that you need, to buy the women for their cosmetics and everything else. So there's lots of things that you need to buy, need to take out of the pittance that you're paid during that month, and at the end of the month you're left with very little. Basically, you're left with no choice really. Maybe you have one nice holiday a year, if you're very careful, if you save your money on a regular basis, a little bit aside each month. But apart from that, they're quite happy for you to be kept at home, be kept busy, to be lied to by the media, to be indoctrinated at home. You're constantly on the internet, on your phones, on your computers and things, so this is the way that they control society. Democracy is a false narrative. I don't see democracy as democracy in this country. There are too many discrepancies in democracy to make it a true democracy. It isn't. It just is not freedom. We really have not very many freedoms. The One World Order is basically initiating geoengineering programs. They're initiating these false flag terror attacks all over the world. They're doing this in order to control society. Society will be basically frightened into thinking that a permanently armed presence on your streets in the cities and towns is an acceptable security measure, and it isn't an acceptable security measure, because I see past what they're actually doing. And what they're actually doing is just implementing a way to control society even further than they are actually doing right now. It's going to get worse, a lot worse. The government's involvement in geoengineering and false flag operations isn't complicit. They do this every day. They're not going to tell you that they're involved in these programs, but they are. The geoengineering programs are basically killing all life on the Earth, systematically destroying our ecosystem, systematically destroying our ozone layer, and causing massive ozone depletion, which as a consequence is allowing massive amounts of solar radiation to reach the Earth now, causing lots and lots of cancers and making people ill. So it's getting worse and worse day by day. I don't really know what the hell to do anymore. I suppose there's only so much that we can do on social media. There's only so much that we can do on YouTube as well, with people's channels and people's videos. I think that the only effective way to let our governments know that we are not going to sit back and take this. We're not prepared to sit back and kiss our asses goodbye. I mean, we did not consent to these programs. We didn't consent to be breathing these horrendously poisonous and radiological particles on a daily basis. We didn't consent to our taxes being used to pay to poison us. There are so many things in the world at the moment which are bad, and there are so many people, unfortunately, which don't see what's going on or flatly refuse to believe that their governments will do them harm. The sky is full of poisons every single day, and we breathe them every single day. Everybody, from babies to adults, to the animals, to the birds, lots of different species, insects, mosquitoes, they're all dying. If we lose these particular insects in our ecosystem, we're basically going to have no pollination of flowers and plants. And if the plants die and the bees die, well, we all know what the end result of that is, because we're going to follow in their footsteps. All of these programs, Monsanto, my God. Monsanto invested in the geoengineering programs primarily because Monsanto want to destroy the microclimates in the world. The microclimates control the organic crops. Organic crops need a specific microclimate to be successful, and they are systematically destroying the microclimates. So organic crops are finding it more and more difficult to germinate. The farmers are finding it more and more difficult to make that crop a viable financial commodity for their business. And this is all premeditated. Monsanto do not want any organic crops anymore. They primarily want genetically modified crops, GMO crops. They are producing now aluminium resistant seeds. Monsanto are doing this. Why would they be producing aluminium resistant seeds when it's never been done before? There's been no need for it, because our soils haven't had thousands of times more aluminium in them than they should have. Soil samples have been taken and we found percentages thousands of times higher of barium, strontium, aluminium, and other nasty things, which are changing the pH balance of the soil worldwide. They're turning the soil acidic. So basically organic crops can no longer function and can no longer germinate. So they're doing this for, again, reasons of financial profit. Lots of people, individuals, I'm not going to mention their names at the moment, but I will in a separate video, are investing in Monsanto. They're investing in the futures market. The futures market is basically a market which says this particular business will be successful or this particular business will fail. It's the same with agriculture. They can bet on a particular crop and say that this crop will fail. And of course it will, because they can initiate that crop and make that crop fail through what they're doing with the geoengineering programs and the amount of nasty shit they're putting in the soil, and they're destroying the microclimate. So that crop will fail. They put a couple of $1 million on the futures market to say that this crop will fail. It does, and they get a huge return. So that they're profiting from this. Monsanto is nothing short of horrible criminal company. They've poisoned lots of water sources throughout the United States. People have been very ill and died. They've been taken to court on numerous occasions, and those court battles have been won by the public because their relatives had died from the horrible chemicals that have been in the water. But Monsanto continue to be funded, continue as a business, and continue to poison and kill thousands of people each year with no consequences at all. Much like the geoengineering programs have no consequences. There's no oversight for a classified program. There's nobody that says you can do this, you can't do this, because it's an actual national security issue. So therefore that national security issue overrides all other protocols and has no political oversight. And they continue these programs to destroy our atmosphere, to destroy our ecosystem, and to kill hundreds of thousands of people under the false narrative that it is a responsible program to counteract the effects of CO2 in our atmosphere. Yeah, right. Okay. Actually, it doesn't. It's a load of rubbish. So these programs continue. The control of our society continues without our consent. Basically, the world has gone mad. I really don't know what to do about this anymore. My Facebook account, it's not going to be there very much longer. I really don't see the point. You know, if I can't upload any documents or any research that I've done, because if I do, it's just going to be removed because I don't want the truth to be told. Same as videos. I've no choice now but to put these videos on YouTube. The simple reason that YouTube simply won't allow them to be put on their social media platform. Yesterday, I tried to upload the video from yesterday to Facebook. I think they allowed 6 minutes of that video, and they took away the sound. Yeah, there you go. They didn't want the truth to be told, and that's fine, because there are other ways that I can implement what I need to implement. Upload videos to Facebook, to Google+, to other sites, to websites where there's copyright and they can't fucking touch it. So it's all very frustrating. But anyway, I'm going to take a break for a little while, and I'll be back a little bit later. So in the meantime, guys, enjoy your day, and I'll catch up with you later. Cheers.